Evening, folks. Papa Deke coming to you from David Delivers Space here this evening, just for a quick video and update. We weren't able to get in on the live launch of the Vulcan today, so I wanted to make sure that video got out to all the subscribers. This was the certification flight number 2, took place out of Kennedy today. The certification was for the Vulcan that was on flight test number 2, and flight test seemed to go off without a hitch, but ran into an anomaly. And I'm going to run that loop back for you. And again, I want to thank ULA for putting that broadcast out there today. But as you'll see momentarily when I bring this out to you, there was an anomaly on one of the side boosters. Apparently, it had suffered an anomaly at about 37 seconds into the flight. And it looked as if the booster bell, the nozzle itself, had blown out. Footage is pretty clear as to there was a problem, but it looks as if two things happened. One was the Vulcan compensated by gimbaling, so the flight was able to reach at least a somewhat nominal conclusion, and there wasn't anything massively problematic with it. Also, the boosters didn't release right on time because there had to be an adjustment made for where those boosters were going to land. So there was a lot of things going on there, but I'm going to play this from T-minus 7 minutes. Again, this video is the footage as put out by ULA today. We thank them for that, and that'll give us a pretty clear idea of what transpired. But it looked like a very nominal pre-launch and countdown. Everything looked to be in line. The launch looked good, and then again, we'll pick that up when we bring that launch footage through to you. So we're going to start this now, and take a look. We'll make some comment on that. But again, this is the ULA launch from today. And you can see we're picking this
ABE,
up about
issue MRTU sync pulse.
T-minus
Roger.
7, right at the
Secure transmitter battery heater and transfer battery internal.
Polling is complete and the team is go for launch. From T-minus 7 minutes until liftoff, you'll hear Dylan Rice and the team performing the final steps in the countdown procedure. Several critical activities occur in the final minutes before launch, including verifying fuel tank levels and pressures in the booster and Centaur and arming the flight termination system. At T-minus 1 minute, the Range Operations Commander confirms the range is in a green condition for launch. At T-minus 25 seconds, you'll hear Go Vulcan, Go Centaur, Go Cert-2. This is the final status check of the rocket and payload readiness. At T-minus 6 seconds, initiation of the launch pad water deluge system occurs. At T-minus 3 seconds, the main engines ignite. Then after seeing Vulcan lift off from Slick 41, you'll begin hearing flight commentator Hannah Peters providing launch vehicle ascent data.
All right, folks, and what you're hearing there, that is the commentary from ULA at the time that the final polling was being taken, the go-no-go polling. Again, up to that point, everything looked good. They had been on a hold for quite some time, and were holding at 7 minutes when the account was picked up. So right now, they were preparing at this point to release the hold, begin the final countdown. So let's all watch this video. And
on my mark, the time will be T-minus 7 minutes and counting. 3, 2, 1, mark.
And there they are picking up the count.
6:55. Ground pyros enabled.
And again, the point at which you want to really pay attention once the liftoff takes place is at T-minus, or T+.
The countdown clock is resumed and we are go for launch at 7:25 a.m. Eastern.
551.
Securing Centaur LO2.
Securing Centaur LH2.
This is Vulcan Mission Control at T-minus 5 minutes and 27 seconds. As a reminder, following liftoff, viewers watching in Florida may be able to see Vulcan in flight as it heads east. To get a closer look at this map, check out @ULA Launch on social media.
.459.
Securing Vulcan LNG.
Securing Vulcan LO2.
.410.
Foliage conditioning complete.
.330.
Hydraulics at pre-launch.
.249. FTS at Turtle. .238. .230.
CLO2 POP started.
T-minus 2 minutes. The launch
59.
vehicle, ground systems, and eastern range are go for launch. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Andrew Linhoff, your host for today's live coverage of ULA's second Vulcan rocket launch. At this time, the team is not working any issues, and we're proceeding towards a liftoff time at 7:25 a.m. Eastern.
135. FTSR. .120.
SCS count started.
115.
ECS, reduce ECS for launch.
Roger.
T-minus
1
1
minute.
minute.
Rock, report range status.
Range green.
45.
Vulcan tanks at step 3.
BE4 start box go.
28.
Verify ECS reduced for launch.
Verified.
Status check.
Go Vulcan.
Go Centaur.
Go Cert 2.
15.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We have engine ignition. 1. And liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Vulcan rocket, carrying ULA's legacy of reliability, orbital accuracy, and high energy performance.
Everything looking nominal. BE4 performing as expected. All temperatures and pressures looking good. Vehicle has begun its pitch and draw program. We have 2 good BE4s.
And folks,
You are hearing
Just
Hannah
saw
Peters
that.
providing launch vehicle ascent data.
anomaly looked like an explosion.
And we've
See
ended the
on
pitch program. Vulcan's now at 1.5
right
or
side.
0.5 Mach.
The booster on the right, it's throwing its plume out, probably about twice as far as the left, which did not have the anomaly. Now the left is still going full bore, but without that cone, which appears in later
The
footage,
BE4
and
is now
you can see
throttling
it there.
down in preparation for SRB burnout.
Without that cone, it's not getting the maximum thrust that the other is.
And vehicle is past Mach 1, Vulcan is supersonic, and maximum dynamic pressure. Coming up on
As you can
SRB
see,
burnout. And we have
it is
indication
still
of SRB
maintaining its
burnout.
flight profile
next
based
is
on the
SRB
fact that
jettison.
that Vulcan is gimbaling to compensate for what's going on with that side booster. And the appearances are that it was holding on to those side boosters longer than
Body rates continue to look nominal, trending towards
originally
0.
had been expected or planned on. My guess is
BE4
that
is
has
now
to do,
throttling
and
down.
there they go finally
we have
releasing
SRB
those
jettison.
side boosters based on where they were going to be landing and splashing
Vulcan
down.
is 19 miles in altitude.
We just
15
heard
miles
confirmation
downrange,
of
and
solid
traveling
rocket
at
booster jettison.
2,400 miles per
We
hour.
have about 3 minutes until we reach our next mission event, booster engine cutoff.
Which you could see at about 37 seconds where that anomaly took
Yep, on
place,
RCS
and there
valve
seemed to be
activation.
an explosion. The bell was pretty well missing at that point
Body rates
on
continue
that-
to look good.
on that booster. And then, as you can see, the plume that was being created was not helping the cause, but the Vulcan and the other booster were able to
And we're now just about 2 minutes to nominal
make the
VGO.
adjustments.
And we've had RCS valve activation. Vehicle continues to look good. BE4s are performing as expected. Body rates are trending towards 0. And vehicles continuing down the range track. Traveling currently at 4,600 miles per hour.
And from all reports, it appears and appeared that the BE4 engines
Continue to have 2 good engines. Body rates trending towards 0.
performed.
And we're now about 1 minute to nominal VGO.
The engines performed positively with no problems. And I believe, based on what happened with that side booster, they took the load off of the...
Vulcan is now 1/4 of its liftoff weight. And Vulcan is now passing the Kármán line.
But again, those engines were able to compensate for what had happened with that side booster. And the fortunate part, I guess, is that when that explosion took place, that some of that debris didn't come back at the engines, because had they had that debris come up into
and we started boost phase chill down on the second stage engine.
The engine compartment, the outcome would have been much different. They were very fortunate that they had the anomaly they had.
And the BE4s
again,
are throttling to maintain a constant acceleration.
We will get more information on that as that is released by ULA. But this
And we've
was a
concluded our
very
boost
important
phase chill
test.
now. And PU has gone to open loop. And we have BECO, booster engine cutoff. And we have Vulcan Centaur separation. And pre-start on LH2 and LO2. And we have full thrust on the RL10. And bearing jettison has been indicated. And we've begun thermal loop conditioning on the RCS. And fixed angles on Centaur PU. Vehicle is now 123 miles in altitude, 345 miles downrange, and traveling at 10,000 miles per hour. And we're getting indications that booster performance was within expectations.
Well, folks, that is pretty much how the launch went. At that point, they cut to mission control. Everything was animated after that point. But it was indicated that the launch was successful, that the boosters did their job. Of course, they were still digesting what had happened, but it was clear when we had that one view of mission control that there was certainly concern on their faces that they had what I would describe as just a off-nominal launch. Launch went fine. Looks like the Vulcan was able to get its payload to orbit. The profile looked good, probably not just as planned because of the deviation caused by the anomaly in the side booster. But nonetheless, the payload, which was a dummy payload, was able to get to orbit. And again, they're calling it an off-nominal launch because of the circumstances of what happened. The key on this is that this was the certification flight too, and the importance of it was that the certification for this vehicle was needed for the United States Space Force payload, which was coming up. The original payload, first payload of this after certification, was to be the Sierra Space Dream Chaser SNC-1 mission, and that was bumped for the Space Force mission, which now, again, this rocket, depending on how things play out with the certification, may be in jeopardy. So we'll just have to wait and see what the outcome of that was. One thing we do know, I've checked, and apparently the FAA is not going to do an investigation, not going to require anything like an investigation due to the off-nominal situation, due to the fact that they would say that there was no individuals at risk, no one was harmed or would have been harmed by the anomaly. So they're not going to pull a SpaceX. They only do those things when it involves a SpaceX launch, apparently. So, but that's the word from the FAA that they will not be looking to have anything as far as an investigation opened on what happened today. So we will get more information on this as that is released. I want to thank ULA for, again, providing the videos out there for us to look at. We are appreciative to be able to provide those to the viewers for educational purposes, and as we watch each of the commercial providers grow and test and take one further step for humankind to go out deeper and deeper into the solar system. So we will, again, keep an eye on this flight and what determinations are made. But there, to recap, there was a off-nominal malfunction in one of the side boosters. Looked like an explosion. Looks like the bell was gone after that. And, of course, the ability of the total vehicle was not in question because it compensated for that and was able to get the payload, the test payload, to orbit. So we'll see what the final determination is on the test overall with respect to the certification and the final certifications needed for the United States Space Force. So with that, guys, I just want to say thanks for coming out. Thank you to our subscribers. Thank you. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to look around. We'd love to have you as a member of the family. Please subscribe, hit that bell so you'll be notified of any launches that are coming up, any future videos. We try to cover as many as we can, and again, those that come up during time frames when we can't get the coverage out, we pick that up as quickly as we can, as I did tonight. Get that out so y'all can see it. And we will do a follow-up video here as soon as more information is made available as to the final outcome and determination of today's test. But congratulations to ULA for the launch. We hope only the best for this vehicle. It is certainly always a positive thing to have another launch vehicle available for the United States and for other customers. So congratulations to them, and we hope that the anomaly is something that can be worked through and that they can continue on with the Vulcan project. So again, congratulations to ULA, and thank you for putting that video out there so we could share that with our subscribers. Guys, you all have a good night, and we will be back with, my goodness, there's a lot going on as far as launches. We've got a constantly full manifest. The only issues we have, a lot of them are SpaceX, and of course the FAA issues keeping some of those flights from taking off on time at least. So we will follow all that. But anything we have, please feel free to look at the channel, and we'll have the video preset and scheduled, and then you can just hit the notify button, and you'll be notified when we go live with it. So thanks again, guys. Have a good evening, and we will see you at the next launch. Bye-bye.